Okay. Hello and greetings to you, viewer from across the tubes. I am Gnarly Quack, although my friends and enemies call me Carl, and I am back today working on Dr. Strangetest, my testing framework for PHP. And we are moving on to something new today after, I guess, about 3 weeks of streams working on the diff algorithm and formatting basically messages for failed tests. I did a little work off stream since the previous stream sort of just doing one more pass over that, cleaning some things up, and then sorting out all the commits and pushing those up to GitHub. And so I think today I'm going to move on to probably the last bit of big work that needs to be done, which is on kind of cleaning up the logging framework and also just fixing or changing sort of what sort of information we're holding when we're logging, just kind of making it more consistent. And I guess if anybody's watching me, you'll see what I mean kind of as we get into it. But I think to start things off, let me get into the code directories here. Since we kind of hit a nice breakpoint in the work here, I think I am going to update my development tools. So I guess first I'll just update Composer, which I think is self-upgrade. I don't even know anymore. Yes. So we're up to 240. And then Composer, and I guess it's going to be upgrade. Oh, you know what I should do though? Just in case I don't like what happens. We will upgrade PHP stance. Let me just check out a new branch. And let's update that. So we're going to 185. Let's see if we have any new failures or anything. Okay, well, and I am obviously going to need to turn on my fan. And it looks like PHP stand did not find anything new. So we'll call that good. So we'll just, what version are we on now? 185. Okay. And we will just push that up, and let me go private for a second, just make sure I am logged into GitHub. It looks like I am. So I'm just gonna wait for these tests to run, and then I think the next thing I'll do, in fact, I guess I'll get ready for that, is I'll fix these failing tests for PHP 8.2. I don't know, 8.2. So let us see what is going on here with our failing tests. And that was, I forgot to silence my phone. That would be the email saying my tests failed. So let me just silence that. So I guess we have some sort of bad string format in test exceptions. So let's go track that down. That's in our tests. Oh, this is in tests. Test exceptions. 68. Yes, those all look bad. Is there anywhere else I have that? What happens if I... Okay. So I wonder if I should search for that elsewhere in my code base. So what did we have? We had a doink doink, and let's search and tests for that. Let's actually undo this change just to make sure it finds it. Okay. Looks like that is the only problem there. So that was just a flat out mistake. So that was not something I was particularly looking to do. So creation of a dynamic property. So that is in, where did we say that was? Test format variable. $93. So what am I doing here? Where do I have this class defined? No, not in source and tests. That is right here. Okay. So setting 1. Hey, Core, how are you? Welcome. Good to hear. Good to hear. I'm doing well. Also doing well, although it's been kind of a lazy Monday for me so far. I was kind of hoping I'd started streaming about 2 hours before now, but there you go. That's a Monday. Are you a PHP programmer? Or are you just kind of floating around the software channels or topics, seeing what's going on, or? So I guess the reason why I'm doing this is to test references, but let's just set that to reference, I guess. And make my tests here, so that will so what do we test format to object. So we have 3, 1. I guess because, wait, why am I getting... Oh, this is less than 8.0. Oh, I see. Okay. So I don't know what this is going to look like on... Oh, this is inherit format. So I think this is probably going to look like... reference equals null, maybe? Or I guess... that's uppercase, and then here it goes here? No, here. I don't know, and then test handles recursive object. This is going to be reference, I think. And then this reference is going to equal null. Is that what we're saying? Looks like it. Now, were these failures in test format variable? That's in line 24. Creation of dynamic. So is there a way to I wonder if there is a non-dynamic way to create integer properties. So let's go public. I don't think that will compile, so to speak, or parse. Can I do this? No. So that was actually some sort of why am I doing this? Because this was some sort of to-do, I think, because there was a note in... And I have no idea which... Do I have the note here? I guess I don't, so... Other changes, maybe. Not even sure where to find this. But there's some sort of change in behavior when assigning... Well, basically doing what I'm doing here. But I don't remember where it was anymore. Maybe it was just backwards incompatible changes. But I don't think it was as late as PHP 8. I don't think time. What is this? This is up to 8. This is 7, so let's just look at I don't know, changed functions. Guess not. This is 7.1. I don't think it's that. Sort order. Okay, this is 7.1. This is 7.3. This is 7.2. All right, 7, 7.1. 7.2. Converting, here it is. Numeric keys are now fiddle handled when casting arrays to objects and objects to arrays. So that means integer keys from arrays being cast to objects are now accessible. And integer keys from objects being casted to array are now accessible. So I guess instead of doing this, we'll just cast to an object and then we should not need that class anymore. Looks like we do that, use this in a couple places. So this is going to go to standard class. Let me just check that. And then where else did I say that was to? Oh no, I'm in 227. So I think I can delete this now. So did I have any other, were those my errors? 2 skip tests. So that might be all my fixes for PHP 8.2. Let's see what we get. Uh-oh. Well, that's no good. What happened here? Oh, yes, trying to figure out what order to put. So this wants it where? What test is this? Test formats object. Well, wait a second. So that only failed on 8.3? or 5.3. So let me just, that's actually kind of what I thought it was going to be, but let me just try that. And I assume we'll see breakages on all of these, but I guess we'll find out. Now, something's still not happy here. Uh, test fail shows call trace. I suppose I changed the line numbers there. So what is this? In test, assert. $260. No. 94. Which there's nothing there. So that's not particularly helpful. Oh, that's because I'm in the wrong. I was reading that. I should be reading that. So 94. So this is actually, wait, passing on everything else. And it's failed. We got 95. We expected 90. So line is great. So line is what? So what are we saying? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Otherwise, it goes to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now in PHP, it's what? Or PHP 8.2, it's. Wait, I don't even know. This is probably just a dumb test. So this is set, what, 72? What is 72? So helper 1 takes a reference to. 94. So I have a feeling this is the line we want to accept. That would seem to be line, oh no, line 90. Oh, I see, it changed. No, wait, we actually got 95. We expected 90? Oh, except, wait, this is, except I've got this backwards because all my tests are backwards. So we got 90, we got 95, no, we expected 95, we got 90. Okay, so, excuse me. So we're saying lines equals, we're going to have to figure that out now. So the only problem with doing that is what did we used to have? We used to have so that'd be line plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, I think we're saying. And then this is going to that line, so this is line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And this is going to 1, 2. That is what I suspect we were saying. Okay. Have I saved everything? So what we were hoping now is 8.2 is fixed on that error. And that 5.3 will be fixed, but everything, whatever that other test was, is going to fail. Whatever that was, 7.1 or earlier or something. And it looks like that is indeed what is happening. So what was that test? Let's pull this up. This was in line 125, I guess. In what, test format variable? I guess we're going to have if PHP version less than 5.4, we're going to want that down there. Otherwise, we're going to want want that there. Otherwise, we're going to want that there. Okay, so I think that will fix that, but let's see if we got 8.2 is still running. No, 8.2 passed. All right, so that's exciting. So I think if I quit out of this, all right, so what changed? That was just a bug fix. This is in line, I guess 90 or 80, 84, basically. It's going to be backwards compatibility. I'm going to need to add 1 to that. Just make sure everything passed. Oops. Sweet. All right. What else did we do? Integer properties. It's all that nonsense. Hey, Schoolie, how are you? Welcome back. How's your weekend? Yeah, pretty chill. To be honest, today's been pretty chill too. I meant to get a much earlier start, but it's been a lazy Monday for me. But there you go. No, it isn't. Oh, I guess I gotta commit that. I have a feeling we may have lost our summer weather. It's with the rain and just the cooler temperatures today. Fall might be here. Oh, you know what? While these tests run, I'll be... Oh, really? I haven't even checked. I'm gonna go refill my coffee. I'll be right back. Yeah, no worries. I am moving on with my test framework, I think. Well, I guess I don't think, but sweet. Everything passed. Okay, so see if I remember how to do this. PHP 8.2. So I think that should just be everything. Looks like it. Okay. So I guess I'll just pull that up. Make sure that passes. Did you get impacted by the rain and the flooding there, Schoolie? I watched that Bears game, but then I heard a lot of basements got flooded, including actually my parents. They're in a condo and their basement, their like parking garage got flooded out. All right. So let me just take a look at my to-do. Actually, I guess I could make sure there aren't any fix-me's in there. Doesn't look like it. Got too many to-dos in there. Okay. So I guess what I'm gonna start working on today, this is all stuff to test. Yeah, this is allowing making namespaces optional and specifying specific tests. This is case insensitivity. Config files, additional CLI, UTF-8. So this is kind of what I'm looking at. And kind of this stuff. But also there's kind of another to-do lurking in here, which is right now assertions that are thrown by the framework itself are different than, they end up coming out differently than assertions that are thrown by like PHP or somebody else's code. And I want to try and make that more consistent. And part of the reason that is the case is, I have a logic here in the framework's exceptions that I want to basically pull out and apply to any exception that we want to log. So right now, right, I have logic in these framework specific exceptions that determines how the exception is formatted, and then we pass the logger basically the exception, the raw exception, and then when the exception gets converted to a string, the logic in the exception, right, formats it the way we want to. And what I guess I really want to do is, if we have an exception that we want to log in the framework, instead of just passing that raw exception in, we should do any sort of processing on the exception before passing it to the loggers. I mean, in effect, we would not just pass a raw exception to the logger. We would do any processing we want and then pass the information we want in the logger to the logger. Which means that in theory, we could handle every exception the same. But in order to do that, first I'm going to have to update the framework's logger, which is one of the earlier things I've written, so it is understandably quite over-engineered. And so we have the log and then the logger, which is right now an interface, which is probably going to go to a concrete class. And then to do everything we want the logger to do, so we have the basic logger, which is sort of our most basic interface. And then we have our live updating logger, which wraps the basic logger, and that basically gives us, well, that is responsible for I don't know, the framework runs so quick you don't even realize, I guess, that it's, but this actually gets output as each test is run. And then on top of all that, because we need some sort of buffering, we need a buffering support. We have a buffering logger, which then wraps those two loggers. So we have two objects wrapping, where we have three objects with two wrapping the other ones, and it's just a little bit ridiculous. And what's most silly about this is the framework, like having this buffering situation going on, is not optional for the framework. I think both discovery, what did I change here? Oh, yeah, okay. Both discovery, yeah, and the runner need to be able to buffer the logger to capture any output that happens during that process. So that just should be a part of the basic log interface. So how do I want to start this? Well, and there's another, right, there's another sort of concern here too, is the reason. So I guess this decision was just kind of silly because this buffering capability is essential to the framework, so it should just be part of the basic logger. But then sort of another concern here is this live outputting or live updating logger. And so the whole point of that is we could theoretically change whatever this is, or not even wrap the logger itself. The point of this is we could swap this out to support sort of different output formats. Like if we would, instead of writing to the command line or the terminal, we could write to a file, maybe like even GitHub. If you write out your logs in a particular format, I think it shows right somewhere right in the, I don't know. It can use that log to show you sort of more integrated test failure information. But the point is we could sort of parameterize what we're outputting to, and it doesn't need to be the command line. And so that was kind of this point of this decorator, but I think the better solution is to just hand an outputter to the log, or the logger, I should say. So that might be the first change to make. Now, this is probably going to break a lot of my tests because, right, most of my tests operate through the log. We pass in a test logger essentially, and then we look at what gets logged, and that's how we do a lot of our tests. So this could be kind of a gnarly change. So maybe the first step is to let's just look at the log here. That's a basic log, but we want the logger. Here it is. So we keep the count, we keep the events, we keep a flag, whether it's verbose. And then I guess kind of what we're saying here is something like an outputter. And I don't know what this would be. An outputter, I guess. Can't think of a better name for it right now. So what are we doing? We increase the count. If it's, oh, so verbosity, where do we have? Oh, log pass. So this is a string. So basically, if we, our verbosity level says to log passes, then we save off the actual event. So I guess at this point, we might want to do outputter, output pass. What does the this live oh, not buffer, output. Yeah. Output pass. This is going to go output failure. And that's actually going to be this. Output error, right? Output skip. I guess this is just going to be, I'll have to take a closer look at what's going on here. If we get a skip during an error, okay, I have to take another look at that. And then log output. output. I guess that's it. Get log. I guess that is it. So that is what I'm talking about doing. And then I guess this is going to change into command line outputter. Extend struct implements, I don't know, log outputter. Seems like a suitable enough well, all of this is going to come off of an interface, so I don't actually need to type into any of these. And this is going to be output. Oops. Ah. Output. So that will do that, and I guess now we need to. So this is. Command logger, I guess, interface logger. I don't know, interface. What do we call this? Log outputter. Oops. And this is all going to be, oops, return void. I think that's the only thing I need to do there. And I don't know really how much I like that name, but there you go. And let's see how much stuff that breaks. Probably a lot. Yeah, so here in this is a 249. So when I create my logger here, so what were we saying? We want the new because that's what we're saying, and then we're just going to put this logger in the buffering logger. All right, and so now I have 80 errors. So I think I'm going to go get rid of my coffee and take a look at that when I get back. Let me just go. I have it here for a second. Okay. Yeah, so quick bathroom break, and I don't know. I probably won't need 6 minutes, but I'll give myself about 6 minutes, and I'll be back shortly. Okay, I'm back. I suppose as anybody watching can see, I have a banana with me, so I may occasionally put a piece of banana in my mouth. All right, so where are we here? We are in test discovery. I'm hoping that most of this, I guess we will see how well I have structured my tests, which granted is not very well. Test discover file. But I just have a part where I set this up, and once I do that, I should be okay. So I guess for this, I need to actually have just some sort of dummy outputter then. No, edit, test, setup. So I guess we'll stick this in what I call this, a log outputter. I guess we'll just stick this in here. I guess we don't really need to, well. And this is going to be dummy null outputter. I guess, I don't know, outputter. I don't know. That's literally all this is going to be. And I don't need these type hints on it. Discover file. So where do we have our basic logger? So I guess this is just a... Hey, Bazin. How are ya? Boy, I was not even close to spelling no outputter there. How's your weekend? So let's see what happens there. 80 errors? I fix nothing. Oh, nice. Oh, because this is a... I guess I can just say use... Is that just so you can like rest your head like a headrest? Is that what you mean for your chair? My weekend was pretty chill. So what is... Oh, you know what? It would help if I saved all my files. Okay. We got some pretty heavy rains here on Sunday, which happened during a football game, so that was exciting. But otherwise, it was a pretty relaxing weekend. I didn't really do much at all. Oh, wait. Oh, literally a chair to the back of the head. Jeez. What were you doing, like wrestling? Sorry, I guess I shouldn't laugh. I hope you're all right. I guess you can't be too bad if you're here in chat, but Oops. Oh. Well, I guess that's all fun and games until someone gets a chair to the back of the head. I don't know. Alright, so that should actually fix that. Not as many as I would like to have fixed, but test targets. Well, I think there's only one test in there, so my framework here. Maybe. This is kind of the, I think this might be like the last big piece of functionality I want to finish. Like, you know, for the last 2 or 3 weeks I was working on formatting those messages, and I finally got that, I think, to a place where I want it. And now I have some stuff I want to do with logging and well, I guess it's more outputting. But then I think, I mean, there's a couple more things, but I think those are relatively small. But I think I'm very close to the end here for the most part. So what's going on here? Why did it not like this? Oh, this is in test. Oh. So I have a feeling this is gonna want to actually have an outputter. Guess we'll find out though. Yeah, now that summer's over, I'm like, I should probably go out and get some more exercise. So I might try and get a instead of enjoying the nice weather during the summer. So I might try and go out for a run today or something. Did you do like cardio or weights or a little bit of all the above? I need to use Some test files. Yeah. Test runner. Oh, wait, what is this in? Test dependencies. I guess I can. Two errors. You're down to 2 errors. Test. So what's going on here? Oh, I guess because I'm not in a namespace. Same thing here in oops. Sweet. All right. I can remember when I was in high school, days when I think my parents and we did that, New Year's resolution where we all signed up for the gym. And so, for about a month, everybody's good about going. But I remember the first time I went and I did weights, and I played in a band. I played trumpet, and like the next day after because it was like the first time I had done weights, my arms were so stiff I could barely get the trumpet up to my lips. Like I was there at band going like just trying to get the mouthpiece up to my lips because my arms were so stiff. So hopefully you weren't that stiff. Hopefully you're in better shape than I am. Give me 1 second to throw out my banana peel. I'll think about your question while I do that. Okay. Well, I am personally a big fan of just working on a project that you're interested in because I feel like it's sort of oh, okay. Uh I just saw your next message there, and I lost my track of thought. But like you had mentioned before, doing like that thing for your dad, I think. Um I guess my general advice would be just find a project to work on and work on it because I think the more programming you do, just the better you get. I'm also sort of a fan of if there's something you can do without a library, like learn, or something you might normally use a library for, like maybe learn how to do it yourself. Uh, I mean, it's been a while since I've done computer science in college, but one of the things they're gonna need to learn, or that you'll probably learn, is like data structures and algorithms. Um, and so if you can get some sort of exposure to those things, that might be valuable. So for example, even in this project, uh, right, all this work I've been doing for a while on diff formatting, that's actually uh, let's see. Oops. So that's actually like the longest common subsequence problem. So like I didn't necessarily learn that in college, but it's the kind of stuff that like data structures and algorithms. This is kind of the kind of work that you end up, or that's kind of what data structure algorithms and data structures is all about, like how to do things like this. Um, so I mean, this might not be the best example just because I don't. It's probably, I don't know if obscure is the best word, but it's not common enough that like a college would cover it. But it's the kind of things that like data structures and algorithms goes into. Oh yeah, well, yeah. I mean, if you're working in Python, right, it has it's got like an HT or whatever. I mean, it's got libraries to do all that. Um, so I mean, I don't know if you have any interest in streaming or anything, but one things a lot of streamers do is they write like a bot for their chat, uh, because like you need to connect to the internet to do that. And I guess you don't even need to stream to do that, but you could write a bot that connects to your own channel, and then you could just have it, chat into your own channel. So that's a popular thing to do. But also there's actually like code that connects, but then there's also understanding how the internet works. So that might be worth reading about. Like learning, what TCP and IP is and how that works, and sort of what do they call it? The network stack. So that's something good to know. And there's some sort of online book that everybody recommends, but I have no idea what it is right now. I'm totally blanking on it. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on a second. Uh, Wait, I'm totally blanking on this person's book. No, and my bookmarks are such a mess. I don't even know if I have it bookmarked or where it is. And well, anyway, I mean, it kind of depends on what you want to do. I mean, if you really want to learn like low level details, you can probably learn like C. And then even then though, like right, your networking library is probably going to come from the operating system. Boy, I wish I could find this person's book. Let me go private one more time. Sorry, I'm not. I feel like I'm not being very helpful. Here it is. Page's Guide. I have not actually used this myself, but I've heard this is a very good free online book, and I'll throw it into chat here for you. And this person also actually just wrote a oh, right here, work in progress guide to C programming, which I don't know how it is. I think it's a little bit in rough shape right now, but I've heard very good things about the Page's Guide to Network Programming. So I actually don't know how low level this goes, but this looks pretty low level. Like it might be C programming. But sort of learning like the network stack, which I don't know if he goes into that. But there's also if the protocol stack, like you should know what the protocol stack is, and this is sort of how the network works from like the physical wires, that connect the computer all the way up to like TCP, IP, which is the actual network working protocol. So if he goes into that in that book, then that's useful to know. But otherwise, yeah, you should kind of be familiar with that. But I mean, if you end up in a job where you're working with Python and stuff, like you may then need to know more than how to use the Python libraries to do like network programming. But yeah, I don't know if that was helpful. I feel like it wasn't very helpful, but but other than that, if you're going to university, like I would definitely spend some time with data structures and algorithms. And let me see if I can find. Well, I have this book, or I have this bookmarked. I don't know how good it is. I think I found it and it looked interesting, and I bookmarked it. But it was not the book I was thinking of. Uh, hmm. Here it is. This is the actual book I was thinking of, but it's kind of written as a textbook, so it's pretty. It can be a little bit hard to sort of wrap your head around it because it is a little bit more academic. But for instance, this was my reference for. So in my test framework, I basically you can declare dependencies on other tests, and my framework automatically resolves those, so it knows what order to run the tests in, and that's basically like a graph traversal, and that's the sort of things that you want to know, like algorithms and data structures for, because you can actually apply them to real world problems. So this is sort of my reference for how graphs work, because I didn't really know anything about graphs until I had to solve that problem. So not that you need to memorize this book or anything, but kind of being familiar with some of the stuff in here I think might be helpful. Yeah, I don't know how much object orient, like I did learn C++ and Java, but also that was a long time ago when I was in university. So I don't know what they're using these days. Um, I guess if you want to learn object-oriented programming, that won't hurt. I don't know how much that's covered. But there's another bookmark I have here. This here, which I have design patterns and stuff. Honestly, I've used this less and less as I've done less object-oriented programming, so I would sort of focus on maybe the networking stuff and the algorithms and stuff before sort of getting into this stuff, but it's at least worth glancing around, and they have things implemented in different languages too. So, and then yeah, basically just figuring out like how to use this stuff or how to apply it. So trying to find some project that you can use this stuff in, I think, is very helpful, because otherwise it all just seems very abstract and what's the point or how is this useful. Um, so yeah. Hopefully that was helpful. Those are just some resources I've kind of bookmarked and collected over time, just sort of going down the Google rabbit hole. Okay. Yeah, you're welcome. No problem. Okay, so now that I've done that, I guess I can sort of get rid of this silliness here. Yeah, no worries. Thanks for stopping in, Bazin. And sleep well and have a good day tomorrow. And don't let your friends hit you in the head with a metal chair anymore. Thank you. Oh, I'm in the wrong. Okay, so this is just going to go to that. Failure. Skip. And output. so I guess these can all go away. All right. Okay. Okay, so now what was I doing here? So we got rid of that log. And now I kind of want to get rid of this buffering logger. But maybe the first thing to do there is change this logger from an interface to an actual class. So this would be basically that. So I think all I would need to do is, oops, what did I do? Let's copy this stuff over to log pass, log failure. Log error. Log skip. And log output. That's actually not even part of the log, I guess. But I guess if I delete that now, everything should still theoretically work? No. Oh, yeah, okay. I guess we still... Okay, I can't do that. Can't do that. Because I gotta get rid of the other logger first. Okay, well, I suppose what I could do is commit that. I guess I can delete this PHP 8.2 branch. Okay. So I guess I'm gonna have to get rid of this. Whoa. Get rid of this live updating logger, and I guess what that means is that's the log interface, and here's the logger interface. So what do I have in the buffering logger? So I got what? Function. Okay, I guess I don't know what I called this. Oh, start buffering. Boy, I just struggling here with the searching. Okay, reset buffer, format buffer, start buffering, and end buffering is basically the API there. So I guess we're going to want to just make this part of the interface because they're saying this is actually needed throughout the framework, and then end buffering. So this buffering logger, I guess, is just right now we'll implement that, but it'll just, and I guess I don't need to call them the same things. Maybe I'll just call it buffer and unbuffer. Oops. Right now, just to get this to be stupid, we'll so that will do fix that. Now we're going to need to add this to here. And I guess not sure what to do right now. I guess maybe I'll just throw a new invalid just to make things happy. So again, need to save all my files. Boy, I'm really right, and buffering does not need, okay, it just needs the logger. Okay. Basic logger, what did I do there? Oh, I put those in the okay, mass confusion here, obviously. Feel like that shouldn't actually cause anything to fail, but I guess we're gonna find out here. Okay, so that is good. So now I guess we're actually just going to, I don't know, let's put I almost feel like this is just going to incorporate this functionality. So log pass But I guess I need to know what unbuffer or happens when we. So we go through the buffering levels. Then if we find any output buffer started that, or started that we did not start, but we're not closed, we log an error. If we find that we are at an output buffer less than the one we started, then somebody ended an output buffer that was not theirs, so we also log an error. Otherwise, we get the buffer, and if there's anything in it, we output it. And then we go through the queue and basically do everything. So I guess that seems all right. I guess we need to put this information then into the basic logger. And then so essentially this is going to go into log pass, log failure, log error, log skip, log output, oops. And then I guess we will tack these on, we replace these. But now these functions are going to have to take a logger. Did I call this buffering logger? So what are the chances that works? All right, well, I guess this is sort. This is. What did I call it in the interface? I don't know. Maybe we call this output. I guess what we really need to do is change this from buffering logger to basic logger. See what that does. So it expected all of this now is expected. Oh, well, I guess, is that in buffer? So let's fix buffer first. It would help if I was in the correct file. So that's 185. I think now I can just actually nuke buffering logger. Or I suppose what I could do now, just to really cheese this, is do that. That didn't fix anything. This Strangetest buffering log is going. So what did I? Oh. Do I? Okay. So now. And everything. Oh, main. We no longer need the slugger. All right. Oh, I need to change this in hmm. That seems a little bit too flexible than it needs to be, but presumably that has I put that in there because I've needed to, but okay, expects buffering logger, but it got okay. So now we need to go into run here and fix this up. So let's just do that. See what happens. See what happens. Not good things. Okay. I suppose one way I could maybe try and fix this is change the name of that and then see what all breaks in my tests. Hmm. Well, something very bad is happening there. So I guess I'm gonna have to go in there and manually sort this out. What's going on here? I guess I don't understand why this isn't. I don't know. I guess if something's screwed up with my buffering, all these errors could just be getting swallowed up by the buffering. Let's see if that does anything. So we got more tests running. And test. Test directories. Uh, so test directories, test files. And then test dependencies. So we're still getting less tests though than what did we have? We had 260, I want to say. Yeah, and then let's just check out. Yeah. Uh, so how can I figure out what's going on here? And then did I just do like a bad change? Hmm. So this is a little bit of a tricky part of the framework because I think with my buffering not really working, I have tests getting swallowed up. Uh, and I wish I knew what tests that was. So I'm just wondering if there's a more gradual way for me to make this change. Okay, so I guess the first thing we could do to make this like just dumb simple is we can just we want the logger. So I shouldn't have anything conflicting here. I guess what I'm thinking is I can just write the simplest thing to do, and I'm just trying to figure out, and maybe I can just let the code sort of work through it itself, is I can just take what's going to end up being a basic logger here, but I guess maybe I'll keep this as the interface right now and just pass everything through. So log, kind of like I did before. Log failure. Log error. Skip. And then log output, I think, is the last one. And then these. Okay, so all that just passes through now. And this won't quite work. I guess what I can do just to sort of force the hand here is delete all this. So let's see what that gets us with static analysis anyway. That's right. I do think I want to change reason to output there. See what that does. Okay, now everything's in buffer, which I'm already in. So 209. So I guess buffering logger now should only take a basic logger. And that should not change the errors at all. And actually, need to hit the restroom real quick. And I think I'm actually going to brush my teeth, so I guess I'll take, probably won't be 5 minutes, but I guess I'll take about 5 minutes. So yeah, be back shortly. Okay, back at it. So let's see now. So I feel like what I can maybe just do here. That was not really what I expected, but okay. So what happens if we do that? To what is this doing like a backward search? Oh, I guess I must have hit question mark. Okay. Well, let's just see what that does. And I think this can just take a basic logger now. Log error on null. Oh, because how did this get through? I'm a little bit confused how that got through static analysis. Because I guess I stuck logger in there. Which I didn't mean to do. Okay. I guess that's progress of some sort. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. All right. So that didn't fix everything. Because we still lost 45 tests. So I wonder where I think I lost those tests at. So what are we doing here? What is assert output doing here? I guess, right, we don't even have, so it must be in something where I have, so I'm a little bit confused about what could be going on there. Regarded buffer, error, OB level current. Changed if I suppose this is a little bit bogus, but okay. Uh, it shouldn't matter. Did we do this error is true and that error is true? So that is the same. So I guess, well, yeah, I'm confused, obviously. So feel like this should not be impacting anything. Same thing's going on here, right? This is why I guess I'm wondering if there's something going on in output. Uh, what other class do we have in here? Oh boy, okay. So what did I have? What did this used to be? Log quiet? So I guess I'm not sure why I'm buffering here. Not that that changed anything. Test directories, test files, test dependencies. I wonder if there's something going on. Doesn't look like there's anything going on with. Right, I didn't really change the constructor at all. 4 there. Test a Oh, right, because not all of these fail. No, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, but some of these are, yeah. Okay. But, right, expect string and a search string are not run, but we are getting so we're not getting the output now. Hmm. So what is going on here? So if we do class equals excuse me. So that is not any namespace. So class equals test. Boy, it would be nice if I could spell. So we're getting no tests found. Okay, so let us break in here. So break in source. Break in source. Exceptions.php on line 21. Okay, well now we are in yep, now we're in here, I guess, which I don't want to be. So let's leave. Ugh. So why didn't that why I hit the PHP debugger? How do I get a backtrace? Help frame. So I'm currently in frame 0. How do I get a list of frames? Shows the current backtrace. Okay. So I am in source run 444. Hey Ornang, how are you? Why do I have one viewer? I don't know. That's not me. Are you the viewer? I guess people aren't interested in either me or PHP or both. I don't know. How are you doing? Oh, okay. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Programming streams are, I don't know really how one gets viewers. I just started streaming kind of more for myself than I guess to get like hundreds of people watching me. Although if that happens, I won't complain. But yeah, it's kind of motivation for myself, I guess. And if people want to stop in and hang out, then that's cool. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that was the type of feedback you were looking for. I suspect programming in PHP, though, I have a feeling there's not a lot of people interested in that, but I'm not really sure. So what is my frame here? Test. uh, well, I guess it depends. If you get people interacting with you in chat and you want to interact with them, that's going to make you less productive. Um, so there's that. If you're going to explain sort of what you're doing, then that's going to slow you down. But if you're just going to sit and program, that probably won't slow you down too much. I try and explain sort of my thought process and what I'm doing and why I'm making the changes. So that kind of slows me down. It probably does keep me more. Uh, so when you are streaming, there is like a performative aspect. So there were probably times when I would spend some more time thinking, but instead I'll be like, well, I need to just get some code done or make some progress. So that might make me sort of push forward a little bit longer when I may get up and walk around and think about it. There's also, I feel like much more, because I don't stream for like a full 8 hour day. I usually have some task in mind that I want to do. And once I finish that task, I'll usually wrap up the stream. Sometimes that's 2 hours, sometimes that's 4 hours. But I feel like I'm much more sort of task oriented. But I don't know if that'd be the same if I was, it was like a 9 to 5 programming job. So that's just some things I've noticed. I do also feel like because there is kind of a performative aspect. I feel like there's some things I miss in my code that I might not otherwise because I might just move a little bit slower or just spend some more time sitting there looking at the code, which probably isn't very exciting for people to watch. So, like, if there's a lot of comments, like I'll do a to do and then I'll forget to delete the to do comment, or I'll forget to update the change log, or stuff like that. So that's just kind of been. I've only been streaming for about 3 weeks, I guess, so that's kind of been my experience. So I don't know if that helps at all. If you do want to stream though, like, yeah, go for it, I say. But I think some things that'll make you probably more productive and others less. Well, I don't have a lot of viewers, so as you know, there's only one viewer, and that's probably you. So I do have like one person comes and kind of lurks a lot, but they'll say hi, and then I do have another person that'll chat with me. So yeah, and then usually I'll try and bounce back and forth between getting something done and then responding to chat. But I've never had more than like two people chatting with me at the same time. So it's like if I did have a lot of people chatting with me, I'd probably have to think about like what I want the channel to be or what I want to get done on my stream. So yeah, I don't know how much of the other programmers you watch, but there's like Go Pirate Software. I guess it's just Pirate Software. And he does a lot of on-stream programming, but I do feel like when he programs on stream, he spends a lot of time engaging with chat. So, like, I don't know how much of his actual programming he gets done on stream. But then you've got like John Blow, and he'll kind of crank through some code for a while, but then he'll stop and like spend a few minutes talking to chat. But he doesn't really engage with chat as much. And then you've got, like, if you watch Handmade Hero, he basically doesn't engage with chat until the end when he takes questions. So, well, I can't give you any advice on that, but just don't get banned from Twitch, I guess. So, I feel like if you're gonna do that, you might as well program out of program in a hot tub. Those are popular streams. Eh. So where are we here? Run setup, that's in 661. Okay, have fun. Hope it's warm where you're at. Thanks for stopping in. And thanks for the follow. I see you followed. Oh, somebody else followed me. Have a good one. So this is where the setup function is getting called, and all right, so I guess can we break on 664? No, I want to continue. Well, that was extraordinarily helpful. Continue. So what, I'm not even getting to... Oh, I see. Break, source, run. I guess I'm probably getting to 690 here. Or I'm not. Oh, okay. So I don't know what C is. Okay, so let's just... What if I evaluate this? Okay. I'm back. Status result. Okay. Evaluate the logger. That's what? It's a buffering logger. Okay. So end buffering. We grab the logger out. Well, let's just evaluate source. That should not be true. I have all this stuff. Oh, what? Oh no, 138. Oh, I guess. Okay, well, all right. So, okay, I gotta set the buffer false. Okay, and we're back to 260. Sweet. All right. I don't know. Maybe I should just do this at the top here. Uh, yeah, we'll grab the source, and then we'll set that to null. It's probably the best way to do that. All right. Well, okay, that was obviously a mistake. So why did moving that up there break everything? Oh, I guess because we're logging stuff here. Is that why? So this gets a little screwy because I guess things get cyclical. So we grab the source. Yeah, we want to tack those onto the end. So I guess that is what is going on there. Okay. I guess another thing we can do is we can just do that. Well, right, we've got to clear out. I guess that's fine, right? Because we've got to clear out the buffers and then okay, so that's fine. That's fine. So back to what we were doing, I suppose. So actually, at this point, I feel like we can get rid of the buffering logger. Right? It's not doing anything. So let's do it. And let's just see what happens. All right, so buffer. Or I guess we want to change this to basic logger. Boy, I am hurting here. No longer need to pick off the logger then. Okay, so that makes discover look okay. Or buffer, I mean. Actually, I don't know. Maybe before I do this. Maybe I should just commit these changes, because these changes seem to be a little dicey. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? It's right there. What? It's right there, dude. Instantiated class. Okay, PHP Stan, your cache is screwed up. Was it cache? What's in temp? All right. Okay, thank you. All right. Okay. So now with that silliness sorted out. Okay, so the buffering logger is now no longer doing anything. So let's get rid of it. And in buffer, so I guess this is just So that exploded my errors. So I guess now, what is this? Discover. Oh, that's right. I no longer need to do this now. And then everything else should be in run. Okay. So test discovery, test discover file. So now this no longer needs that. See what that does. Test discover directory. Test runner, test directories. Okay, I guess I thought I used that, but okay. Test files. All right. Test dependencies. Oops. That's that. Okay. So I got rid of that. Sayonara logger. Eliminate buffering logger. Now I guess what we'll do is I guess what we'll do is we'll just go to eliminating this interface. And so what we'll need to do then is move these type hints over here. Output. See what that does. First, I need to save all my files. All right. Wow. Lots and lots and lots and lots of breakages. So let's start in main here. I suppose most of this stuff is gonna probably just boil down to a search and replace. So now let's take a look at buffer. Three substitutions. All right, and now, well, I guess we can just use the tests to where are we here? Argument to assert events. I'll get the logger in here twice. It's a little bit weird. Okay. Okay. So that might be where I want to leave it for today. And I guess I need to decide whether or not to make this buffering stuff. Whether I want to make this buffering stuff just part of the class or not. But I guess I don't need to decide that now. Probably 6 of one, half dozen of it, half dozen of the other. But okay, yeah, I think. Well, I suppose let me just quit. Make sure I didn't have anything. Okay, that actually that did not screw up my tests as much as I thought it was going to. And I guess part of that is I was not actually using like a live, whatever I called it, live updating logger. But yep, I'm gonna call that there, and I guess that sets us up in a position to um, update the interface of the logger now to start collecting information that we want it to take instead of just taking exceptions. So that'll probably be more finickiness. And I'll have to figure out how I want to do that with... I'll probably need to update that before... Well, I don't know. I guess I'll have to think about it. But, yep, I'm going to call that a stream. And if anybody's lurking or watching this on the VOD afterwards, I thank you for joining me. And whoever, wherever, or whenever you are, I bid you peace. Take care.